If you're a mom who has rearranged your entire life around the silence with your adult child, maybe you're constantly checking your phone, you're replaying the past in your mind, and you're wondering what you did wrong, I just want you to know that I see you. I've walked that same painful road, and today I want to share some things that help me break free from that cycle and finally find peace, even before reconciliation. I have these 4 points for you today, so let's dive in. Number one is the cycle of obsession. Can I just say obsession? That was me. And I promise you, it will drain you. And for those of you that have been in this for even a month or more, not to mention some of you in years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when you're estranged from your son or daughter, it's easy to fall into that trap of obsessively waiting for a message or a call or anything, right? And what happens is that cycle of hope and disappointment ends up consuming your time, your mind, your energy, your joy, everything. And I want you to remember that waiting for them to give you peace is giving them complete power over your life. And that goes for any relationship that we have. Well, you cannot wait for them to make a move before you have peace, because your peace does not come from them, right? Let today be the day that I hope that you can recognize that your peace cannot depend on someone else's decisions. Number two is you're more than a mom. You know, I feel like I say this a lot, but some of you need to hear it more than once because you are a whole person. Estrangement can leave us feeling like the only identity in the whole world that we have is the mom that they don't talk to or the mom that they're disrespectful to. But you, Susie, Terry, Amy, you're still you. And you were created with dreams, with gifts, a calling. I promise you, every one of us have a calling. And that part of you still matters. And so I want you to ask yourself, what did I used to love? What have I abandoned that used to give me life, that brought me joy? Because this is about reclaiming yourself as a whole person, not just waiting for them to come back, and certainly not waiting for permission to live again. I did this, so I know what you're going through. My whole life went on hold. And while my whole life was going on hold, my health went down the tubes. I became addicted to alcohol. So all the things. So I've been you. I know how you're feeling. I know what it feels like to feel like you need to numb the pain, but I promise you that is not the answer. It just makes it worse and much longer to recover. So if any of this is hitting home for you today, if you're ready to stop living in this emotional survival mode, I am hosting a free online event. It's called The Turning Point, and it is on Friday, July 25th at 7 p.m. EST. I'm going to walk you through some steps that help me move from this constant heartache to some peace. This is not about giving up on your child. It's about giving yourself permission to heal. If you're interested, I will have the link in the show notes below. You can save your seat today. Number three is boundaries are not punishment. So many of us think that boundaries are mean, that they're punishment, but really they're protection. Protection for them, protection for you. And many moms feel like so much guilt drawing this line in the sand with their adult child, especially if that child is struggling. So if they're struggling with addiction or dealing with their own struggles in life, these emotional boundaries aren't about shutting the door on them. It's about protecting you, your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. And you can still love them deeply and say that this behavior is not okay. So it's one thing if they're struggling and they come to you and they're like, Mom, I really need some help. I know every single mom watching this video right now would say, I'm going to help you. Of course, I'm going to help you, right? When they come to you and it's a genuine cry for help, you're going to be there. But I'm talking about the behavior that is disrespectful. So boundaries, remember that this is how we honor ourselves. And then we leave room for God to work in their life. We need that space. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the space I had because God did miracles in my family's life. So let's dive into the last point here. Number 4 is you can have peace. You can have peace before reconciliation happens. It doesn't have to wait until the relationship is fully restored. God can bring calm to your spirit and theirs, even in the middle of all of this mess, all the unknown where you're like, is that even possible? Your job is to walk in joy, purpose, health, and freedom while holding out for healing for them. But you're not stopping your life because you are allowed to live again. So even as you continue to pray for them and have hope for them and the relationship, you need to continue to move forward. So when you have that anchor, right? Anchor your identity in Him, not your child's choices. Because then peace can become possible no matter what's going on in your world. And so just remember, you do not have to keep breaking your own heart, because I think that's what we really do. You're breaking your own heart to prove that you love them. And maybe you're just trying to prove that to yourself, or you think that you have to do it that way. So I hope that you start healing and start trusting and walking through this whole process with just more hope and shine. Hopefully we'll see you on the 25th. I hope this episode helped. We'll see you next time. God bless.